Barcelona's Mercè Festival is the city's biggest entertainment event, happening every year on the last weekend of September. During 4 days, there are several hundred events going on. Lots of music, dance, cultural activities, human towers, with most events happening outdoors on the streets and plazas. All free. Fun for everybody. You'll find several movies about it in our collection, and in this episode we will focus on the grand parade that opens the festivities. But first, let's take a quick look at some of the other things that are going on during this wonderful weekend, such as the famous Sartana Dancing, a tradition of Catalonia. Day and night you'll see many hours of the dance that weekend, and lots of other song and dance performances. There's something for everybody, with families and kids having a lot of fun things to do. And it's primarily a festival for local people to participate in. Be sure to look for our other movie about the Fire and Dragon Parade, one of the most exciting events, the grand climax of the weekend. The Mercè Festival officially begins with the Grand Parade that happens on Friday evening, usually about 6:45. Big crowds show up to see it, and we'll share with you all of the highlights coming right up now. The parade begins with the dancing giants coming out of the festival headquarters at the Verena on the Rambla in the heart of Barcelona. The main attractions of the parade are medieval mythical figures of beasts and dragons, and also giants and big heads called gegants y capgrossos. The Mercè Festival has been celebrated every year since 1687. I'll share a little of the history coming up soon. This event is especially fun as the groups dress up in their own fancy dress and different costumes, some of them pretending to be riding horses. The groups and giants dance to traditional drums and pipes, and even to some pop music. You'll always hear drumming somewhere in the streets of the Mercè Festival. The featured participants are the city eagle, the lion, the mulassa, the ox, vibria, dragons, tarasca, giants of Pi, city giants, capgrossos marcers, cavalets cotoners, and the giants of Santa Maria del Mar, all accompanied by the musical groups of trabucaires and minstrels. This dancing giants parade is called Jambanga de Gegants, with giants from many Barcelona districts and neighborhoods, including, to commemorate 100 years participation, the new giants of the Casa de la Caridad and the Corpus of Barcelona. Here's the route of the parade. It starts and goes along the Rambla, and then on Carrer Ferran, one of the main streets of the old quarter, and ends up at Plaça Sant Jaume, the main square with City Hall and Catalonia government headquarters. A big crowd gathers here for dances and music on stage from the various folk performance groups that just marched in the parade. We'll show you more of that at the end. To experience the parade from the very beginning, you wait outside the festival headquarters with the big local crowd, and then you can walk along the Ramblas and follow it all the way. This parade is so popular that you can see it gets pretty crowded. And take precautions for security, because there are some pickpockets in this crowd, so beware. Even if you have a safety pin securing your pocket, these world-famous professionals can get right through it. Try to arrive a little early. It supposedly starts at 6:45, more like 7 p.m. But if you're in position by 6:30 p.m., you'll have a good view. Once you've seen the opening section of the parade, you can walk along the Ramblas and get different perspectives as you go. It does get very crowded, as you see, but you can still get a pretty good view even if you're walking down the middle of the Rambla. There you'll find a very wide pedestrian sidewalk with small roadways along each side where the parade progresses. So just stay on that main pedestrian area. Even if you're in the middle of it, you'll still have a pretty good view of those giants going by. And of course, it's an amusing place for people watching of all kinds. Everybody is so distracted and focusing on the parade. It really makes an interesting sideshow. And when you're walking through a crowded sidewalk area like this, it's lovely to realize that everybody is really quite polite. Nobody is pushing and shoving. There's very little bumping going on. It's a crowded spot, but it's not gridlocked, so that you're certainly able to keep on walking. And you can move over to the other side lane or sidewalk if you want to get ahead. You might even be able to find a table at one of those sidewalk cafes. It's quite a mix of local people and tourists out here. It's interesting that many tourists who arrive are not even aware the Mercè festival is on. It's not that well publicized outside of the country. Visitors are often surprised by all this activity. Of course, many savvy travelers are aware of this event and know how wonderful these 4 days can be. And so the hotels tend to get booked up early. So if you're interested, remember it's that last weekend of September, and you want to make your hotel reservations well in advance. Earlier we saw the horse costumes. Now we've got real horses with the mounted military joining the parade. The Mercè Festival is the celebration of the patron saint of Barcelona, the Virgin Mary, who is called Maria de las Mercedes, meaning Mary of the Mercies. According to legend, on the night of August 2nd in the year 1218, the Virgin Mary appeared to a local saint, Sant Pere Nolasc, who was in Barcelona rescuing Christians who had been taken prisoner by Moorish pirates during the Wars of the Crusades. It was part of the ongoing conflict between the Christians of Spain and the Muslims of North Africa and southern Spain. The Virgin asked him to form a sacred order of monks in her name. He did so and formed the Order of Mercè, which was dedicated to rescuing Christian captives. Pere Nolasc had been ransoming captured Christians since 1202, before the Virgin appeared to him, but he constantly prayed for help and divine intervention, and this help came in the form of his Marian experience in that year 1218. Centuries later, in the year 1687, the Virgin of La Mercè once again came to the aid of Barcelona by making a plague of locusts disappear, and the city has never been plagued by locusts ever since then. After the locust plague, the city council chose La Mercè as co-patron saint of Barcelona, and the festival has been held here every year since then. Be sure to look for our other movies about different aspects of the Mercè festival in our collection, and we have a couple dozen movies about Barcelona, providing you with a complete tour of one of Europe's most popular cities. If you're enjoying the show, how about making a comment down below and a thumbs up, and why don't you subscribe to our channel while you're at it, as it winds its way along Carrer de Ferran in the home stretch, heading for the ultimate destination of Plaça Sant Jaume. The parade is ending, but the festivities continue in that main square for another 45 minutes with a big crowd enjoying the show. I hope you'll enjoy the rest of the parade, which you can continue watching without any further narration, just the sounds and music of Barcelona at the Mercè Festival opening parade.
La Bíblia, drac femella, cua de ser, la plaça nova.
We've got more movies about the Mercè Festival, including a spectacular fire and dragon parade. Look for them in our collection.